All right, guys. Today I basically just want to share how I made my first 10 grand online. So you can just copy me. And this was actually not the hardest thing in the world. It just still took work that I had to put in. And it honestly took me 6 months until I made those 10 grand. But with the knowledge I have today, I could do the absolute same thing in way less time. So that is also my goal with this video right here. I'm trying to give you my knowledge that I have today so you can in on your journey of making your first 10 grand online be way faster than I have been because you have all the knowledge that I have today. Right? So step by step what I did. Let's dive right into it, okay? Without any further ado, this will be a very raw video. And by the way, I'm doing this because I today had a coaching call with a student, and we were talking about his case on making his first 10 grand a month, and it just reminded me of how simple it actually is, but how heavily most young aspiring entrepreneurs are overcomplicating this and how confused most of them are by this overwhelming amount of information out there on not knowing who to listen to, what business model to pursue, what exactly to do, what the next steps are, and jumping around between the different things and having no results at the end. This is where most are trapped. And that is a problem. And I solved that problem with the student today. And I want to give you the essence of that 1 hour call in like 10 minutes here. That is my goal. So you also have the setup, you know what to do, and you have the clear action steps to collect your first 10 grand online. Right? So let's hop into the nitty gritty action steps. So the first step I took was identifying a niche, a target audience that I could sell to that has number one, a problem to solve, and number two, a lot of money that they could pay me to solve that problem. Okay. So, problem to solve could be many things. And if we look at businesses, because they, second part, also have money to pay you, okay, I wouldn't start with B2C, that could also work. But usually businesses have more money, and paying you $1,000 for a business is nothing. Paying you $1,000 for a normal consumer is everything, right? So that's huge difference. And that is why it makes a lot of sense, even for beginners, to go into B2B, because businesses can pay you $1,000 a month and they don't care about that. That's nothing for them. Okay. For a consumer, that's a lot of money, right? So identifying a problem we can solve for someone or a business that can pay us a lot of money for that, right? So that could be either a business usually wants to attract more customers, so they want to make more money, pretty simple, or they want to keep their customers longer, also, again, that's leading to making more money, or they want to improve their service or their product, or they want to increase their enterprise value. To keep it simple here, one of the simplest things that you can start with is helping businesses attract more customers. And that is exactly what I did. And this is honestly what this video is about, like just showing what I did to make my first 10 grand, right? So what I did is I identified that niche, and the niche I chose was online shops, so e-commerce businesses, so businesses that are selling stuff online. And I decided to help them gain more customers and make more sales using Facebook advertising. Okay, that's what I did. I already had some knowledge in Facebook advertising. I knew how to do that. So I choose to help e-commerce businesses to make more money through Facebook advertising. I would not recommend you to do exactly that right now because it's really oversaturated in there. But there are many ways that you can go about this. And the simplest thing, because you should not let anything stop you at this point, because there are so many niches out there that can work. Almost any of them can work. So I would recommend you to just go on ChatGPT, say, hey, I want to make money with a service-based business. I want to solve problems for businesses. And what niches would you recommend me to start in that are not oversaturated with service providers and where the businesses can pay a lot of money for the service, and also the service is easy to learn for me. And that's what I would do. And then what I did next was, okay, I had my niche. I had e-commerce business owners who wanted to make more money. And now I needed to get them as a client to pay me money, right? That was step number 2, okay? Step number 1, pick a niche of someone who can pay you a lot of money and there's a problem you can solve, or you can learn to solve, right? You can learn to solve almost any problem, okay? You don't have to have that skill yet. You can acquire that skill while doing it. And also, I wasn't perfect when starting out with this, with clients, but then still got the first client good results by just learning in the process and being very eager to learn and putting a lot of time in, right? So that's what I did. That was the first step. Second step, okay, I needed to get some clients to pay me money. So what I did, I just analyzed their Facebook ads, what they were doing, and I sent them looms. That's basically a screen recording, like a 3-4 minute screen recording on what they could improve on their ads. So how they could make more money, basically. So I just provided them value up front. I sent out like 10-20 looms a day. And I actually did that for 6 months until I closed my first client. And this is very poor performance, but you have to keep in mind that I was a beginner. I was a 19-year-old kid using an old Acer laptop with bad webcam quality, with bad audio quality. Everything was super bad. And also, I was a 19-year-old kid. And also, I was recording these looms out of my child's bedroom, right? At my parents' home. So it was hard to get a client in that situation, but still, I managed to do it. And yeah, so basically, then what I did, step number 2, I messaged 10 to 20 potential clients a day with personalized Loom videos each. So for everyone, I created a piece of content, a personalized Loom video on how they could achieve their dream outcome, aka make more money with their online shop, and through a very specific thing, through improving their ads. And I gave them specific things that they could improve on their ads, right? That is the second step. And then third step was basically just I booked a call in, or a client, potential client booked in a call via these Loom videos that I sent out. I hopped on the call and then I closed that deal. And in the first month with that client, I made 2,500 euros. Second month, I made 3,000. And third month, I made 4,500 euros. So with just this one client, I made 10 grand after 3 months. And that's pretty much it. That was what I did to make my first 10 grand online. And you don't need anything fancy for that. You don't need a fancy website. You don't need a fancy name or a logo. You actually need none of that stuff. You don't need a website. You don't need a logo. You don't even need a name for your business. You just go ahead, you're you, and you provide value to people, learn how to solve problems for people. And if you genuinely do your best to provide value to these businesses, even in your first touchpoint outreach in a Loom video that we talked about, you can, by the way, just go on loom.com and use that for your videos if you do a similar service that is showcased online on the screen. And if you just provide value to people, sooner or later, you will reap your positive rewards and you will make money off of that, right? And as long as you're not making significant amounts of money with that, you're either not patient enough because you haven't done it long enough, or you're not providing enough value with the first touch points you send out, or you're just not doing enough outreaches. So these are basically the only points that could lead to failure. But at the end of the day, this is not super hard. This is a simple path. It just requires patience sometimes, and it's boring sometimes. But at the end of the day, the one who provides a lot of value will always be rewarded. So that's what I did. That's what still works in many niches. You can just go ahead and ask ChatGPT which niche you can choose, which target audience you can choose, and which service to provide for them, and then do that. And then send them outreaches, personalized outreaches, tell them what they could improve, provide upfront value until you close a client, and they will pay you money. Oh, by the way, why I made more money with this client was because I had a revenue share. So for all the revenue I generated for this client through the ads, I had a percentage of that. I had 10% of that, I think. And because I had a revenue share and we increased the revenue, then I made more money in the second and third month. That's what I did. That's how I collected my first 10 grand a month. And one more very important thing, at the end of the day, as I said, there's such an overwhelming amount of information out there on how to do specific business models or which business models are the best. And trust me, it doesn't matter too much. All of these business models could work. At the end of the day, it's about you and your surrounding. At the end of the day, the who you are, who you surround yourself is the most important thing for everything in life. And that was also the case for me. Yes, I have sent out Looms for 6 months, but what I didn't mention so far is before, right? Like I think a month before I closed that first client, I went into an office space with some friends who were also upcoming starting entrepreneurs, right? And I started to surround myself with like-minded people through that. And that actually was the game changer, right? Then my Looms got better and all that stuff, and I closed my first client, right? So that is a huge game changer. One, really working on yourself, who you are, and working on your surrounding and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And for that, I actually created a community. You can basically just check out the link below. It's completely for free. You will get an accountability partner in that community to hold you accountable on your goals, on your week goals. And yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, that's what you can do. And that's basically what I did. Okay. So I went ahead, I picked a niche that I could help, that I could solve a problem for. I contacted those people until I got one client. Then after 3 months, I collected the first 10 grand online. And that's what you can do too. It's really not too hard. It's just following these specific action steps and being the right person and surrounding yourself with the right people. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, if you're watching this right now, you're on the right path. Keep going. Thank you.